Hi, Sagittarius. If you'd like to come on and have a seat for some symbolic support, my name is Steph. I have created an ink blot, a small scroll made in your name and essence that we are going to scry for shapes and symbols that may speak to our psyche and psychic senses. As well, we'll add on tarot and oracle. And where Mr. Ghost Gift is here kicking, we'll utilize Ghost Tube for any audio additions that may further inspire or irritate. Overall, please do receive a release freely.
Buy me a coffee.
Gratitude if you decide to buy me a coffee or donate. The links are below for your likes, shares, and subscribes. You truly warm my haunted heart, and I'm grateful. So when you're ready, sages, here is your scroll. If you'd like to start scrying while I open up, feel well to comment below any insights that you have as they do deepen the reading and reflections. Taking a nice deep breath. Closing the eyes, cleansing the palette of perception, releasing the race in the rush. Activating the abstract mind and ancient awareness to perceive and receive symbolic support. In the name and our honor of Sagittarius, may you meet a message with meaning. All right, sages, I have a few notes here off to the side.
Leave it.
So see this heart, it's like body health, and I'm seeing the commercial from the 90s maybe, Body Break, and it was like this couple and they would like work out together or show different exercises, and I feel like I am exercising heart health. Maybe it's because you're feeling a lack of energy lately and you're like trying to, gear up I feel like it's like your just body strength is how I feel. But there's like these ostriches and or emus that are coming through as well. You might even be sages going through some cord cutting. And you're really taking a look at these cords. It's not willy-nilly. It's like, is it the emu or the ostrich that has their head in the sand? And those, you're able to almost like manhandle them. Not necessarily in a aggressive way, but there's a manhandling and like really taking a look at this and be like, what are these cords that I'm attached to? What are these concepts that I'm attached to? What is helping or hindering my overall holistic health? Because it feels holistic in nature. I'm also seeing a whale tail down here. You would see water and then you would see this whale, or maybe, is that also like it's not a tattoo. Is it like an underwear thing? Seeing someone's whale tail. Oh my gosh. She's a lady. Whale tail. Maybe something about that. There is a bird. It must be, I'm thinking like a seagull or something like that. That sits on like the back of this whale and can kind of float around. Also, it's like this presence that sages you have about you. Now, the whale might mean something to you specifically, and please follow that symbol meaning. But thank you for the space for me to ramble. But the way I'm seeing it is almost like when I'm swimming in this, like whatever I'm doing in this movement, emotional movement, meat suit movement, etc., I have like this guardian, this guardian that kind of keeps an eye out on the horizon for me so that I can dive under pretty fluently without needing to worry. Like I have eyes above the surface while I'm below. And it's not overly distracting, if I may. You also had here...
Watching.
Yeah, they are watching. I drew out a few of these tiny cards. I don't know what they're called. When you gaze upon a rose, enjoy her beauty. Don't count her petals. As well, fairy tales are a salve for injuries reality has inflicted upon us. And last but not least, in total stillness, you can touch the heart of God. It's interesting that it says stillness because I see so much movement. Another heart. Also, what I'm connecting out to, I'm seeing it like one of those horns. Sorry, my throat's all funny and you're reading. Ba, 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 ba. Bugle? Maybe it's a bugle.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Thank you so much for being here for the sages. So on one hand, it's like I know what I'm drawing in. what I'm releasing, certain chords of sorts. And on the other hand, what I'm calling in. So maybe it's that stillness and movement balance. It's like seeing a six pack in here. Like, look at all those muscles. Look at all those muscles, and it's kind of like the eyes are down. Like, I mean business, and I do mean business. I feel like I mean business as well. I also see a bee coming at me, something that I'm in my shoulders. I'm standing up here. I feel like, oh, give me a moment, sorry. Just got like a weird feeling, like I'm standing on top of something. Standing above. Head above water. Oh, okay, so I feel as though I am getting ahead. I'm getting ahead. Getting ahead. That's what it is. I'm getting ahead. The interesting thing about this is, even though I'm seeing it as like getting ahead, I don't see it as an actual head. I'm seeing it as another body on top of my heart. But this brings me into also my throat. My throat. Long neck, throat. There is a ski lift in here. This is strange. It is strange, but welcome. Welcome to Scrying with Steph. We're a little strange outside of the ordinary. It's amazing. Thank you for being here. There's a ski lift and or a snowmobile. There's also a car door. Something about a car door. Slamming a car door. Again, there's this gentle actions I feel like I can do. Close the car door, or I can slam the car door. Sometimes it's just like power. Like, somebody might not, sages, you might not know your own strength. Okay, thank you. You might not know your own strength, because I'm getting this like superhero vibe or superhuman, but at the same time, it's like you can embody the kind of like the Hulk, but I don't necessarily know that the contrast. I don't know, but it's like you can be your own hero or villain simultaneously. And maybe this is the way you interact with other energies coming towards you, like whether they are villainous to you, or, and you know, you're like, no, that's not happening. So you become your superhero, or others interact with you as a superhero. Do you know what I'm saying? Or maybe you just have a really good ability of discerning. It's like even seeing some others, if I may, outside, and their superhero-ness, but they've just decided to embody the villainous. But the strength, the sages see the seed of the strength. But it's the way it's being expressed, or the way it's being alchemized and lived out, is framed. What sages are looking at. That's what you're looking at. Thank you. And while there might have been a situation for some sages, if you've been framed for something, again, like a villain, or, you know, right or wrong by someone or something, or something else, I'm also seeing this like a frame of like before and after pictures, whether this is your job, whether this is your financial situation, whatever the case may be, or your body, your, you know, mental health and physical health, your spiritual health. And you can see this before and after. There's a framing of it. I want to come back to the rose for a moment, because when you gaze upon a rose, enjoy her beauty, don't count her petals. But I'm kind of like counting my 6-pack, but at the same time I'm just enjoying the beauty of all that is, like this whole bloom. And I'm not, you know, she loves me not. She loves me not. I'm not sacrificing every petal to inevitably take the bloom away. I feel very aware. And there's definitely something in the throat there. Sit-ups came through, octopus, and I don't know if anything else did. But let's get into your shaman's palm. I'm inside it. And your psychology card. See if that switches over. I think we're good. Hothead. That could, again, hothead came through, but I don't know if this is you or others. You know what I mean? Like, because it's like getting ahead, but you don't get a hothead about it. Sagittarius. Yes, we are so here for Sagittarius. Okay, well, let's take a look at your psychology cards. I lied. And then we'll go into your shaman's palm. And I apologize. Is that too dark for you? I don't know. Okay. 21 and 30 is your numbers. Some of you sages know somebody in spirit or somebody in the afterlife, or you've had friends that are in prison. There's something about prison. Maybe you yourself have been in prison. I feel for some of you, you feel being in a body is like being in a prison.
Sad.
Yeah, it does make me a little, like, I feel a little chained up a little bit here in regards to it. But it's like I'm doing all these things to kind of release a weakness, but I'm not overcompensating. I feel like at some point in time, now, whatever measurement this is in sages, and of course, if it's not your scry story, thank you for holding space for others to receive this portion. It doesn't have to be prison and, jail, but some space, maybe it's in that alchemy of your triangle of sorts, that something felt withered and weak, and I'm working on that. Something was withered and weak, and I am working on it. And it's like it's almost like somehow some of you sages might have had a spiritual or a physical intervention of sorts where everything was coming at you at once, and it was like, okay, I need to, or I want to start doing not only physical sit-ups, but physical, spiritual sit-ups, mental sit-ups. Maybe you're doing brain games or sudokus, I don't know what they're called, word searches. Like, there's all these little things, and I don't feel like they're massive. They are imbued and embed in your day. Like, you are able to see things as opportunities for you to do a chin up physically, if you maybe have to reach for something, or reaching for something, or reach your mind to another level of understanding, and do you know what I'm saying? Brain games and stuff. Anyway, you're super smart. You're super, super smart. I'll bring out the psychology cards as well, but you know the drill. If you see, sense, or feel anything in these symbols or shapes, like, please feel well to comment that. See, this feels like very physical and or mental, if I may. And this feels like I'm reaching out to something deep within myself, and it starts creating this. Again, it's like I want to put, spiritual, mental, physical, and I want to put them in like this trifecta. Like, this is what comes out of it. And maybe you sought or seek out someone or something. It could be therapy. Maybe you have a coach or a confidant, a mentor. Because up here, these two people are arm wrestling, but still has its place. It doesn't necessarily mean, the way I'm feeling it, that it's, in angst. But maybe you were just against yourself. But up here, it's kind of like they're dancing. They're dancing in regards to it. It's like, oh, we can dance together. We're not, whether it's your shadow, your shine, your personal life, your corporate world, this, that, or the other. It's all very, very fitting. They end up working together. There's a cleaning up of something as well. Enjoying some of your fruits. Like, see how in this, it's almost like a monster claw and then a hand. So if other people see you as a monster, okay, I'm not concerned about, my name is Steph. Who are you? But it's almost kind of like that. Like, who are you, sages? Who are you? Is it Jekyll or Hyde? And is there brute force? But they're together. And it's like you meet this sage. Interesting. The sages meet the sage. Maybe it's within the self. I feel like I've been hollering for them. I feel like I've been hollering. There's also like a healing that's gone on. Somebody in spirit, when I say spirit, it could be the energy entity of anyone or anything. It doesn't have to be human. They have been checking up on you through this process, because whatever this amazingness is, this superhero, it's mirroring that you could also be a super villain. And maybe you've done that over your life. You've tried one way and you're going another way. Okay, so let's start with card 30. Let's see if I can do this without destroying everything. Okay. Opposing. The seeker looks through his bars, not the open wall. Opposing is that which blocks movement and direction in existence. Our blocks test our commitment to journey. Without the obstructions, we would not persevere. Things which come too easy are soon lost. What is dearly bought will be more lasting. We can remain victimized by what opposes us, complaining and angry, or we can change our perspective, seeking openings where openings are possible.
How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Lights.
To remain, yeah, there's lots of lights today. To remain in opposition keeps us from using energy to go forward in life. Your task, should you choose to accept, is to stop protesting and or possibly complaining and do something creative with every difficulty. And this is what that feels like, right? When you might meet those instances, situations, and it's like you are able to decide, can this offer me a spiritual sit up or a physical sit up or a chin up? You know what I mean? You have this ability. This is what you're kind of breaking through. And there's something about all angles, covering it from all angles. It's like I somehow stopped and then just turned around. Sages, let's take a look at, and it's not very typical that I get 2 cards. So I feel like that's a little bit special as well. The number 21 might mean something to you. Okay, so look at this. Look at this brilliance of these 2 dream psychology cards, opposing and then giving. Okay. In the teepee, the seeker sits ready to receive. Oh my goodness. I love it. Express, expel, supply. In giving,
It's cold.
In giving, yeah, it is chilly in here today. In giving, we exchange the energies of our life, yielding what we do not need for ourselves, so that we may be clearer in our own essence. And I do acknowledge that I was stumbling through that, trying to say, so that we may be clearer. We do not give in order to receive, although many do just that. We give what we have gained so another may also receive new life.
Spirit.
Having gained what is precious, we send it away freely, affirming what we have had. Let go of your needs, and you can truly offer to another. Hold on to them, and you will be giving to get. Your task, should you choose to accept, is to let go of your needs by fulfilling them directly, not by manipulating in order to get. And I want to note, like in relation to manipulating, it's a big word. And while some like mental manipulations is one way to go about that, and it has an air, right? But we can also manipulate clay to make a beautiful vessel.
What do
You can
you
also
want?
be working out your body to manipulate it into a strength. But it feels for me like the way I'm sensing it is, Sages, while you might be positively manipulating your body with certain exercises, you're understanding the benefits that it's giving to your spirit or to your mental health so they can let go of certain things. It's like exerting energies that are of excess or exerting of energies that are, to be honest with you, not yours. But you've been receiving a lot because of your strength in many or one ways. This is how it's feeling for me. You've been receiving from a lot externally, and you're
Can you feel
realizing
me?
cutting those cords, absolutely cutting those cords a little bit. You're like, I'm going to let go to let in and replenish my strength, if I may, but I'm not going to waste my time opposing or proving my worth or value. But I am going to self-reflect, and that I'm not going to pick my own rose petals apart. I'm not going to pick myself apart. But I am going to acknowledge along the way and strengthen where I can, for like with the rose garden, for whatever reason that's sticking through, that it might need slightly different nutrients than maybe other gardens. They might need tending to in slightly different ways than maybe, a wildflower garden. Roses requires just a little something, something, and you are a little something, something. Just saying. Okay. Sages. Let's move on to your shaman's palm. Wandering into the cave of ice.
Stay.
We're here for Sagittarius. 5 of coins in the reverse. And even the ghost box said earlier, it's cold. It was cold. Maybe you felt out in the cold. Maybe there was, for some, I'm hearing specifically a mental block in relation to that. And that made me feel a certain way. So now I feel a little cold, but it's in the reverse and it's in the cave of ice. So it's literally de-thawing. I'm generating my own warmth with this exercise, which could even be an exorcism of sorts, energetic exorcisms. Wandering into your cave of winds is the Seven of Cups. And if these tarot cards mean anything to you, please follow that, as I tend to read the art first. There's those vessels, manipulating certain things into those vessels, those cups. I'm also feeling in that moment that I get to decide which strength this is helping. Because you have so many levels of strength that are like beefing up. Just beefing up, but in a good way, not a hot-headed way. In some ways, it's like I'm taking a ski lift to some places. For others, you're getting in a car.
It's outside.
You have a lot of vessels, and I have a feeling that's what it's possibly talking about. A lot of vessels, the car being metal, and maybe that's, or just going to work and doing your thing, or whatever the case is. Taking the ski lift mentally to the top of the mountain. It's effortless, spiritually speaking. Okay. In your cave of hearth fires, we have here temperance. See, and this is the vibe. Sorry if I have ink and stuff in my nails. Like you get it, sages. You get it. It's like you have figured out your own Rubik's Cube. Okay.
Why did you come?
I got to come back to your dream psychology card, seeing this birthday cake. And it's sliced up in pieces. There's some sort of equilibrium in your energy. And it is self-made kind of stuff. If this is self-made millionaire, self-made, whatever the case is, self-made health, whatever the case is.
How do you feel?
You have, maybe that's a question to, always check in. How do I feel? What do I think about this? How do I feel about this? What do I actually say about this, if anything at all? Or do you decide to stay silent? Because in your cave of, oh my goodness, in your cave of rivers, it was right there, is the moon.
Are you scared?
No. And look there's even like a river there. Again, lots of ink under my nails. Sorry. It's like impossible to get it all out sometimes. Impossible. Oh my goodness. Okay, give me a moment. I'm seeing a show called, in that temperance. What's the show? Foundation. There's a guy named Harry, and there's like some sort of cubey. It's not a cube. Some science math thing, and you do this thing with it, and then it opens up the math, and people can read it. That's what it's reminding me of. But I want to know as I see that, because there's almost like a genius part of it. It's also kind of the way he's sitting. I'm seeing I've never watched it the whole way through, the Lord of the Rings, and that little creature. He's like, my precious. See, again, it's like this double, you don't get hoardy about it, hairy or hoardy about it. It's like staying in the genius space and realizing sometimes things are going to run their course. I feel like I'm
hiding.
Give me a moment. In the moon card, I feel as though I'm looking at another world. And this is where I feel like you're self-made. You're the cleaning up crew, the different cells of your body that are regenerating, becoming friends with your own monster within, like the My Pet monster. It's not so much about taming the beast in the way we would think of it, but it kind of has that air. And there's something about like I'm seeing a muscle car. Anyway, sorry, that's what I'm seeing is a muscle car. And then when I come into your cave of earth, it's like the Queen of Wands. And it's very dark and light, but this is the warmth that is in
busy,
the five of coins. For some, this might have a lot to do with money or coins, collecting coins. It's like, how I have all these ideas. What do I do with them all? And I kind of put them together, and then they create their own shape, my own character. And then it becomes this whole new world for me to play in. And I feel like somebody becomes just really, I'm going to say important, but hopefully that doesn't come off in a snooty way. I feel like now I'm sitting pretty, but it's not that I never stop. I just don't let go of recalibrating my characters.
toy,
Yeah, it does look like a toy. Do you know what it reminds me of? It's one of those things from when I was a kid, and it was, again, a hexagon. I don't know what kind of shape it was, but it was blue and yellow. I remember that, primary blue and yellow. And I mean like toddler style, fine motor skills. And, you put the triangle and the triangle and the circle and the circle and the square and the square. And then they would all be in like this little hamster ball of something. That's what it makes me feel like. Like, it's here for you to play with all these different things that you might find interest in. What piques your interest as well? It's like you might, as an example, you might go weightlifting, but then also take Tai Chi.
How are you?
Or do it at home. I'm good. How are you? Okay. Sorry. Sages. We are going to flip your ink blot another day, so we'll get another reading out of this, and that's amazing for perspective possibilities. And if I haven't said so already, please do like, share, subscribe. I'm so grateful for you. Yeah, this is a calculated gamble. Calculated. Okay, so I'm seeing the show Community. I don't know what season it's in. It's not the point. And at one point in time, they're all sitting around like this poker table. Or maybe, no, what are they playing? Yahtzee. That's Yahtzee. And their pizza guy rings the bell. And the one guy's like, okay, let's throw the dice. And whoever is sitting in that part of the table, you go get the pizza. And the Abed guy's like, okay, Jeff, you now know you're creating 6 different timelines. I feel like you're very aware of this. All the different timelines. Sages. Past life activation. Oh my goodness. All the different timelines. I'm hearing that song in my head that I sing to myself. I am open to receive. I am open to receive. Okay. Yep. And fragments. Because these are all the pieces. The worst is behind you. Your worst is behind you. But I'm going to take a moment, if I may. Can I do this? I'm sorry that I'm always all over the place, but it's creative chaos. Remember, like, see this? And there it is again. By creating certain or cutting certain cords, whatever those are for you, and maybe you have to take a gamble or a calculated gamble, and like following your intellect and your intuition of what those are, makes room for
maybe.
How do I say that? Sorry, give me a moment. I want to say in the simplest way, makes room for more, but it makes room for a door. Maybe it's the door to your heart as well. What was this over here? We had initiation by fire, master number 22. Okay. Oh my God, that's fantastic. So see right there?
Down.
Her arms. Yep. and look down on the ink blot. Her arms. Up on the ink blot. Up on the ink blot. Sages, you're getting ahead in the most. It's almost like a fairy tale. You're creating your own fairy tale. And notably, the way I'm seeing the fairy tales is traditional. They're short stories, a bunch of short stories in one big book.
It's
So
cold.
it's like you're not worrying about making creating a novel. It's working in the short stories, in the stints, that helps appreciate every petal of the rose. And then also as one. And it's in that moment, in total stillness, you touch the heart of God, because this is your overall heart health. I'm going to leave it here. Sages, I hope this did inspire, educated, or entertained, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. And until then, bye. I am open to receive. I am open to receive.